Before I hand back to Emma, I'd also just like to acknowledge all of you, our wonderful community members and entrants to our awards. We couldn't do it without you. And I'd also really like to acknowledge Caitlin, our judge who's with us today, who has been one of our longest standing judges for several years now and a really wonderful addition to our program. And I'm sure you'll all enjoy hearing from her shortly. And also would like to acknowledge the amazing role that Emma does running this program for us as well. This will be Emma's fourth year running the awards program, and she is a wealth of knowledge and here to support all of you as Caitlin. So please lean on us. We're here to support you in this process, and we really look forward to hearing more about your projects that you're involved in this evening and throughout the process. So thank you very much. I'll pass back to you, Emma.
Yes, thank you, Olivia. Perfect. As you all know, even though my name on the screen will say Olivia Lynch, I am Emma White, the Programs and Partnership Manager here at Keep Australia Beautiful Victoria. It is my fourth year running the awards, but this year is going to be bigger and better and more exciting, which we'll obviously go over today. So to start off, I'll just do a quick introduction of our awards, a category refresh, how to enter the awards, top tips from our expert judge, Caitlin Burns, how we can promote your initiative, and then what happens after the awards once Tidy Towns goes to nationals, and then we'll answer any questions you guys might have. Perfect. So to start off, many of you have maybe entered the awards before. This is new. So the awards have been running for 41 years as of this year. We like to recognize and celebrate community initiatives happening throughout all of the Victorian communities. What's different with this year is we are combining towns and cities into one program. So then hopefully we can create a bigger network of initiatives, volunteers, and communities to work together. What's different with this year as well is we will be hosting the awards night in Melbourne. So it'll be a little bit easier for everyone to come and attend the event. One thing that I did want to go through before we move on, any big key dates. Whoops, sorry. Jumped ahead. Please make a note of it in your calendars that entries do close at midnight on June 18th. There is no extensions. So please just make sure you push submit before that date. In August, we will have judging interviews. Those dates will be confirmed with you closer to the date if you move on to that round. And then in September, we'll announce the finalists. And finally, we do have a date for our awards night. It's the 23rd of October in Melbourne. So we hope to see everyone there. Perfect. Quickly, I'll review our categories. We're going back to our traditional 10 categories from previous years, because last year was a little bit different with us combining with the Premier Sustainability Awards. So please make note that there are 10. We have education, community, energy, environment, litter, waste, young legend, heritage and culture, and indigenous culture and well-being. Most entries can fit in one or more categories. If you feel that you're in multiple categories, put what you feel is best, and then you can always give me a call and we can discuss where it fits as well. I know I get that question a lot. What's going to be different with this year is everyone again enters into the one program. We will have 2 streams. It will be towns and cities. Through your application process, you don't have to determine which one you'll enter in. We will go based off your town or city's population. So if you are less than 20,000 people, you will be in towns, and over that you will be in cities. Entering the awards, we're hoping the portal this year is a little bit more user-friendly from past years. We've made a few changes. To start your process, you do click submit, or you will submit entry and then create a login. This login you can use throughout the process to edit your entry until you click submit. So you can go in and out of the portal as much as you want until you click submit. Once you do create your login, there will be an add new application button. You will click that and then you'll begin the application and click submit at the end once you're finished. You can submit numerous applications per one login. You'll just go back to the main page and click add new application each time you want to add a new initiative.
Sorry, just to interrupt you for a moment. We've just had a query come through in regards to seeing the slides. We just wanted to make sure that everybody can see the slides changing. We should be on the Sustainable Development Goals, the UN slides now. Can everybody see that? Yes, Karina can. We've got a few other nods. Okay. Might just be Sam's issue. All right.
We'll see you soon, Sam.
Sorry about that.
Perfect. So something that is new this year is we are having entries connect their initiative to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. As you can see, there are 17 goals, and if you don't know much about them, the URL is there below. You can Google them and learn more. You can click multiple sustainable development goals that your initiative does apply to as well. So in the description part of the application, you'll be able to select all those, and then it will help you in the future promoting your initiative, saying you connect to so many sustainable development goals. Perfect. And now I'll quickly pass off to our expert judge, Caitlin Burns. She's been with us since I've started in 2020. And then this year as well, she became a national judge for the Keep Australia Awards. So pass off to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Emma and Olivia, and welcome everybody tonight. One of the things that Emma has talked to me about is trying to ensure that you as entrants are not at all stressed about meeting us as judges. And so my first comment on that would be that let me tell you as judges, and I think Pip is here as a judge as well, and maybe Sam's been involved before as well, we are much more nervous than you because we are hearing so many great projects and it's our job to pick the cream of the crop from those. So we will always be much more nervous than you in this process. So please try and not stress about it. We are great in Victoria at online as well, let me tell you. I did have the privilege of judging the national awards this year as well, and the Victorian entry was outstanding. I can't tell you who won, but the Victorian entry was outstanding, and they were great with the technology. And some of the other states and territories, because they haven't had the same challenges over the last few years, took a little bit longer to get used to the technology. So don't stress about that either. We're all over that, and you are too. And Emma is great at making sure that we all keep rolling through it. I guess from my point of view, from the judging perspective, what we're really looking for and what we find in the winners is they're the ones that are just a bit different, right? So they're, you know, a lot of people are doing a lot of great stuff. What is it that makes your project super great? What's the wow? We call it the wow factor, I guess. What's the innovation? What's the wow? And so when you're going through your application process, and you'll see I've done a mock one. Poor Emma, if she reads what I wrote in my little mock one, it'll give her something to laugh about. But I wrote a mock one there, and you've only got like between 100 and 500 words for each little category to write in there. You can do a lot in that. And then when you meet with us, if you get through to that process, when you meet with us, what we really want to learn is a lot more detail about that project. So don't stress about every little thing that you need to put in your application. Try and put as much in as you can. But then when we meet online, we'll ask questions. We'll give you the opportunity to tell us more about the project. And the kind of things, I guess, that we're looking for is for you, be assured that we've read your entry in fine detail. Anything that you've sent us, we've read. If you've sent us any videos or anything, we've watched those. If you've sent us website links in advance, we've looked at all that stuff as well. So there's no need to go through all of that again when we get to the interview, the judging process. Then you can really just chat a lot more. What I want it to be is I want you to tell me and the other judges, depending on the category, all about your project. You no need to read anything off slides, no need to have schmick presentations. What we really want is to learn about your project. And we want to learn about why you did it. What was the need out there in the community that you wanted to address through your project? What were the kind of things that you did throughout the project? And what successes or what outcomes did you have from that? And how did you know that that was successful? How do you know that you met kind of the things that you thought you might want to try and do before you set out to do the particular project? Did you measure it? Could you measure it? Did you do a little survey? Could you judge how many people turned up? Could you look at, you know, what the impact was on your energy efficiency program, whatever it might be? You know, how do you know whether it was successful or not? One of the things we also really love, surprisingly enough, is when things didn't go quite as well as you planned, what did you learn from that and what might you do differently next time? You know, so there's a real opportunity there. Don't worry if it didn't all go completely to plan. Most of them don't. What were the things that you took and would learn from that? So I guess they're kind of the things that we as judges want to see. We always are super interested in your projects. It always makes me reassess my life choices by the end of all of this because I'm so overwhelmed by the great things that you're all doing, and all I have to do is sit and listen to them, really. So, well, I get the easiest job in lots of ways, but the most stressful. But be assured that everybody who's interviewing you has some knowledge in your area and some expertise. Certainly that's different perhaps than previous experiences that some of you might have had. But this year we will make sure that there are judges who know what you're talking about. We're all interested and engaged in it. And towards the end, if you've got any questions for us as judges, perhaps I know there's some time for questions at the end, but perhaps if you've got any questions for us as judges, feel free to ask those then. Emma, is there anything else you want me to talk about particularly now?
No, that's fantastic. And if anyone has questions again at the end, we can always have Caitlin answer them. And I know we have a couple other judges online as well. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Wonderful. And so something a little bit of to help you guys make that decision to enter is we can really help promote your initiative. We can help share your story, whether it's helping you share through your channels, sharing your story through our channels as well, and helping you get media reach. So there's a lot of ways to share your story, create networks, and help other Victorians learn what you're doing and potentially pick up that same initiative. And then there's a lot the awards can do for you as well. So we can help build brand reputation as a business with strong sustainability credentials, begin to share and interact with tidy towns and cities awards, content to drive awareness to your initiative, attract a new customer base by highlighting your sustainability efforts, attract media interest through your sustainability story, share your sustainability story process to similar groups across the state, and then create new networking groups across Victoria and the entire country with our nationals program. So something that I know Iris and David here from Horsham, they both know much about is our national awards. So after our state awards happen, we will know the Tidy Town winner of the year, which is the overall winner. That entry will automatically be entered into the national awards and then be in the running to become the National Tidy Town of the Year. So this past year, you're one. They are in the running to become potentially the National Tidy Town winner, which will be hosted in King Island this May. We will find out if they win. So you guys as entrants can enter, your town can potentially move on to become the national finalist, and then hopefully the winner. I know we have Beechworth here that's won twice, and then we had Hastings that has won nationals once as well. Perfect. Does anyone have any questions?
Is all the judging being done online?
Yes, it's all been moved online. One, it's obviously more cost effective, and it's better for the environment for us not to have judges traveling around.
So it'll be a day that I'm speaking to you from Horsham. It'll be a day where we need to get everybody that we are involved with together at certain times during the day so that you can hear their story. Is that the way it'll work?
It will work. So depending on which categories you guys enter into, so each category will be judged on a different day because we have 3 expert judges for each category. So community might be judged on August 8th, we'll say, and then waste might be on August 12th. So depending on the category, it will be different days, and you will just need the people from that initiative to show up on that date. So you don't have to gather everyone from Horsham for that judging interview, just the people that were involved with the initiative.
What, you'll give us a time?
Yes, so we'll send out the times closer to the date. Yep, so it will be happening in August. We won't know exact dates and time until obviously entries close, and then people are shortlisted to move on to the interview stage.
Right, so if we were entering the whole 10 categories.
Yep.
We intended.
So you would have 10 different interview times and days.
Right.
Emma,
Yep.
it's Iris. I've got a couple of questions, and not actually from some of our lot here. They want to know how connected is Tidy Towns and Cities re the state awards. So when will there be only one sort of it could be in the city, or this is how I think they're talking about, when you actually go to the awards, will there be only one city winner that'll be for the whole thing, or will there be one for city and one for Tidy Towns?
We'll have one Tidy Town winner and one city winner.
Okay,
So it's basically the same programs we ran in the past, but we're just doing it in one night.
Yeah, I apologise for coming in late, but I had a problem with the dog.
Oh.
I couldn't get him out, otherwise he would have joined in the conversation.
Oh, that would have been all right too. I did see a hand raise a moment ago.
Yeah, that was me, Emma.
And the other one the other one they asked for was about the actual entries with the UN goals. Some of we weren't sure, some of our projects would not fit in under UN goals as such, or we're a little unsure. Now, one of the things they said with the Indigenous culture, if you take Indigenous culture, really there's nothing in the 17 goals that fit Indigenous culture. Therefore, we're wondering how we get around that, because if the project that they're doing has got to come under that category, how do you match?
Some projects won't fit perfectly under them. We understand that. So pick the one that it best goes with. It's not, you won't be judged off of that. So
no, well, what I worried about, because I did our boomerang bags, one being the secretary boomerang bag. So I thought, oh, that's a good one. I'll get in and I'll do that. And it won't let you continue if you don't put something in there.
Yep. So pick the best one closest to it. Because you do have to have that to move on.
Yeah,
Again, you won't be judged off of it, but it's really to help you guys promote your initiative, because if you're connecting to those UN goals, it just helps you connect to the rest of the world, really, and say this is what we're doing.
What Anne said, but she said, oh, can we put not applicable? Would that help us to continue?
Send me the project description. I'll have a look. I found most projects do fit under at least one of the goals. And I can help you with that. If we find it an issue where some projects absolutely do not fit, we can discuss that further. But I've never had an issue in the past.
Yeah, Indigenous culture, the three they meant, and you know what our lot like, always got the curly questions. Indigenous culture, heritage culture, and young legends. Three that are a bit hard to actually match goals to, but as you said, the nearest thing to it, so we'll cover it like that. They were the only questions that my lot.
Perfect. Yeah, if you send me the descriptions, I can help with that as well, along with anyone else.
Switched on with what has to happen, but it was just those three things that came up. Thank you.
Of course. All right.
Emma,
And
I've got a question, if you don't mind. This is my first year coordinating down on the Mornington Peninsula, this event, so very new. So are we able to access what entries we have under the category so we can keep track? We have lots of community groups and different schools and things that will be entering projects. And just to keep a track of that, is there some way we can access
yes,
who have
absolutely.
applied?
So I used to work closely with Michelle down there, and
Yeah.
you guys obviously enter so many projects every year. So what I would do is, as we're getting closer, I would just send her the projects within Mornington Peninsula. So then
Okay,
the
great.
council's connected to those. Unfortunately, you won't have access to the portal to see them, but I can
That's
help
okay.
connect
All
you
right,
with who's
perfect.
entered.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Of course. And I see another hand up. Adam, I think it's
Yeah, so just Adam from Zero Plastics Australia here. I've got a few questions. You've kind of covered them, but just to kind of confirm here, because one of the ones is it beneficial then to apply for multiple categories? As what I do here is obviously I've got I recycle single-use plastic waste, but I also educate students as well, and then it's the environment and the waste. So I was a bit kind of caught up on what category to go for, or should then I apply for 3 or multiple choices, or what's the
if
best
it's
kind of way to go forwards?
so kind of just based off a little bit, just said in what I know about your organization. If the education aspect is separate from what you're creating with the bottle cap lids, you could enter that as 2 different projects. So the education under one category and then the bottle caps under waste reduction or wherever you see it fits best. If it's the exact same project and there's no differences, then just do it under one category that it fits best. Because otherwise, in the past, we've had people enter the same project into 3 different categories and we've just had to combine it down. So it would end up being combined anyways into one category at the end of the day.
Yeah, perfect. I believe it'll probably come under the same one then, because my education is just how I do it. Like, it's actually in this workshop behind me here, and I just talk to the students about how to turn single-use plastic waste into new things. We go through the process of it all. So I would then believe it's under the same kind of category there.
Yeah,
and then
so do that. And then obviously in your descriptions, you can mention how you're covering under more categories, because the judges, obviously Caitlin can testify to that, would love to see what else you're doing and how you're fitting under multiple categories in UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah, that's perfect. The other thing is I actually got a contract to make recycled plastic USBs for the UN and Packways Plus for the Samoan Islands, but I didn't mention that in my category. And then come to think about it, because it is for the UN, is that then another thing that I should either bring up or add on to my application?
I would definitely add it. Caitlin would, I can see her nodding, agree. Add in as much as you guys can. So every attachment you can have, if you have videos, it doesn't hurt to have as much as you can. Obviously, you want to have more than too little, so then they can come into the judging interview and know exactly what you're doing.
Perfect. And then my final question is, sorry, could you just confirm the dates of when we'd kind of hear back, in a sense?
Yes, so entries will close on the 18th of June. And then after that, we will go through the entries and they will be shortlisted. The shortlisted ones will move on to a judging interview, which is online. And then after that, we will announce the finalists and then the event, which obviously the winners will be announced at. So we don't have exact dates for when shortlisted will be announced, judging dates, because that will vary per category, and then finalists being announced. But we do have entries closed June 18th and the 23rd of October for winners being announced.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to this, and thanks for the opportunity.
Of course. Thank you, Adam. Well, any other questions?
Again, Horsham, just a question. So when each category is being judged, I take it it's going to be visual. Like we can, at the moment, we're looking at a screen with slides, but I assume that when the judging is being done, we'll be looking at people.
Yep. So you would have 3 judges who are meeting with you. It's just a face-to-face interview through a screen, I suppose. So we try to make it as personal as possible. It will be like what we have done back in 2020 and 2021, but we're going to combine it to doing each category just one day instead of sporadically doing it throughout 3 weeks. So we're trying to make it more refined, a little bit easier on our judges as well, so they don't have such long weeks.
But we'll be able to show you faces and places and people, will we?
Yep.
Yeah, right. And my next question is the fact that the actual awards night, that's in October, you said?
Yes.
23rd of October.
23rd?
The 23rd, yeah.
Is that a Monday, isn't it?
Yes, it's a Monday. So we
It's a Monday.
picked the 23rd, ideally, so people who are traveling from regional Victoria could make a weekend of it if they choose to. Instead of doing it in the middle of the week where it might be a little bit harder for everyone to come down.
So on that Monday, the format would be, where would that be and what time?
What time? So it will be in the evening on the Monday.
Right, so if we're successful and are there, we would need to make arrangements to obviously stay overnight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you choose
That's
to.
all right. And the actual format for putting entries in, is that available now?
The entry portal?
Ah,
Yes, so the entries are now open, so you can start submitting your entries.
right. Okay, thank you, thank you.
And Caitlin, I
Well,
see you raised your hand.
Anybody else in Horsham got a question?
I just want to follow through in what David said, Gillian from Horsham. With the judging is going to be done via Teams like we're doing now. How do you anticipate we're going to be able to show you outside what people are actually doing?
So it's more of a conversation. I guess the judging is what we recommend. And then you can attach to your entry form any photos and videos to really give them that visual aspect.
Thank you.
If I might be able to add something from a judge's perspective to that, because that's the hardest thing, you're right, is that we're not actually on site looking at your projects, and especially the ones where it's really important to see the visuals. Some of the things that we've really appreciated, and it doesn't have to be any good, just take your phone out and do a bit of a video of things and attach that to your application. That's 100% fine. We don't care if it's windy, we don't care if it's shaky, but it's just great to really see the environment and the landscape that you might be talking about, or the project, or if it's a kids project and you've got permission to share the kids doing an activity or whatever it might be. That's great if you can attach that. And at the time when we're talking, you've got the option too of sharing your screen with us and potentially showing us a couple of photos or something while you're talking to us, so that you can talk directly to your projects and give us some visuals on the screen at the same time. I would say, depending on your bandwidth, it can be super challenging to show videos during the judging. It's certainly possible if you want to do it, and we can get them. But if you can and you've got videos, just send them to us either with the application, or if you're shortlisted and you want to send us a video, then you can do that to Emma and we can watch it first. That can, that can be good. We did have some challenges in the nationals around bandwidth and things kept freezing, but we will do everything we can to be able to get as clear a picture as we can of what you're talking about. So I agree it's challenging, but we're trying to find other ways around it, and we really appreciate any visuals that you can share with us.
Caitlin, can I say something here? When Beechworth was judge, one of our very enterprising ladies actually went down and did her interview judging at the site, and she was showing you around, which was the botanical gardens. She was showing you around. I just thought that might be an option just to throw in there, and it seemed to work. So.
And you know what, this year or last year we had somebody doing it in the car. I wouldn't recommend that. Luckily she wasn't driving, but I wouldn't recommend the car, but absolutely take us to your site. That's a great idea. I love that. I wish I'd been in that one.
Yeah, And but we've got some pretty enterprising people who we've sort of all hands at it now.
Perfect. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions?
I will look forward to being there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for everyone attending. We look forward to seeing your entries, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from me quite often through the next several months.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Thank you.
See you, judging. Well.
Oh, Sally was talking.
Turn it off. Oh. Just saying it.
Well, that's different.
A young